Sure. That's the excuse you want to go with there, buddy boy. So, Ncuti Gatwa gives interview claiming he left Doctor Who. Oh, he left Doctor Who because I'm getting old and my body was tired. You want to know how old he is? The man's 32. He's 32. You want to know how old Peter Capaldi was when he played the Doctor? Like what, 57? No, no, no. I think there's other reasons. You know what? Even though Peter Capaldi wasn't very young, he was a true fan of Doctor Who. And you want to know what else he wasn't? A fucking pussy. This dude, every chance they got, they had him cry. Very seldom did you see the Doctor played by Peter Capaldi, the last great Doctor. Very seldom did you see him cry or tear up. This dude, no, let's do it like 2, 3 times a fucking episode. People aren't going to relate to a Doctor like that. So, this he can say that I left Doctor Who. He didn't leave Doctor Who. Right, and I've got a bridge I'd like to sell ya. After the most critically panned run in history, Ncuti Gatwa is hitting the interview circuit, claiming he wouldn't say never to returning to the role of Doctor Who, the Doctor. The last few months of Doctor Who have been a roller coaster of drama as Russell T Davies, Ncuti Gatwa, and the BBC tried to spin the situation for damage control for their incredibly controversial run of Doctor Who that turned off fans in record numbers. Yeah, and I don't want to hear anyone say that otherwise. When you have, I've said before, when you have David Tennant, who back in the day before streaming services and all that, was able to pull in on it because of him, able to pull in 11 million views an episode, and here we are in the age of streaming, in an age where we should have more Doctor Who fans, and these episodes are only getting 2 million, 3 million views at most. Clearly something's wrong. So you can sit here and gaslight all the fuck you want. The fact is, Doctor Who is not that popular. They've been running it into the ground, going intentionally out of their way to put those messages in your face. Rather than having messages cleverly written and woven into the story, no, they're in your face. White man bad, strong woman, racisms, all that in your face. Rather than weaving them cleverly, these big brained, college educated individuals who work in Hollywood and all that, who could if they wanted, instead they want it in your face. And people are just tired of it. People are tired of having a doctor who's actually this is constantly what he does. No one wants to see a pussy of a fucking doctor. So if he wants to say that it's because he's old and tired when Peter Capaldi was fucking like 57 years old when he took over, okay, sure, whatever helps you sleep. Controversial record numbers leading to the lowest ratings in the show's history. 60 years. 60 years the show has been around. The lowest ratings ever. That's quite a feat. It's hard to build that reputation of the show and building its fan base, but it has had no problem whatsoever just tearing everything down. It's easier to build than it is to tear down. And these people, Russell T Davies, who was great back in the day, was able to write, guess what? Write stories with messages about racism and stuff like that, cleverly woven into the story. It's now just like, you know what? Fuck it. Who's going to stop us at this point? Let's just have it in your face. And so people were like, honey, where's the remote? Is there something else on? We got Netflix, right? We still got Netflix. Okay. Netflix. Because why sit enjoy a show a show that's meant to be an escape from reality about a dude who fucking flies through a police box through time and space. You know, why use that as an escape from reality when you can constantly get preached to? So people have voted with their money and their views, and they found that Doctor Who is not as popular as the gaslighting suggests. Um, yeah, so it's they can sit and try. It was rumored that Gatwa would be gone from Doctor Who before the first season of his run even aired, with troubles from the BBC's set leaking even at that point. Those rumors only became bigger after the first season, where Doctor Who ratings hit an all-time lows, only to be beaten by the second season, where Russell T Davies seemed to make a point of creating plots that centered around attacking fans as the show fans of the show who were annoyed with its identity politics focus. There's nothing wrong with having messages, but these people have just like, oh, you know what? Who cares about clever storytelling and world building and character building? No, let's just have the shit in your face. Because we like to think that the people who watch our shows are fucking retards. So we're going to have it in their face so they can understand what we're telling them. Because that's what they think. They think you're fucking stupid. And the problem is, most of you act like that. You act like that. So you're giving them a reason to keep writing like this. Instead of giving us clever stories that are charming and witty and fun to watch, no. They're treating everyone now as if they're fucking stupid. And it's because of the people like you out there who are like, oh, yay, this is some of the best writing Doctor Who's ever seen. It's because of you. You and the other 2 million people who are still actually giving a shit about Doctor Who. At this point, it's Doctor Who fucking cares. After the show's cancellation and a tacked on desperation attempt for buzz by having Billy Piper regenerate into the Doctor, the Cope tours have started in the media, with Russell T Davies last week championing. It's just a weird word. Championing. It doesn't even sound like it should be a word, but it is, because there it is. It's a very long, complicated word. Doesn't even sound like a word. It sounds like it should be something else. Championing. Can we find it in dictionary? Can we look it up in a dictionary? Very long word. The cause of turning Doctor Who into a pride parade, saying, I find a lot of the other science fiction franchises are very straight, very masculine, very testosterone-y. Maybe that's what people want. Russell, did you ever think of that? No one wants to see someone, I'm saving the universe. And no one wants to see that. Like, and so that's our space. I do think that's where Doctor Who can fill a space. I have some jokes I could say, but I don't want to be insensitive. The interview got weirder and with more coded attempts at grooming children into the lifestyle. Clearly on Russell T Davies' mind. Whatever this person believes, I don't really give a shit. I think it's just, I don't think it's the grooming or anything. I'm just tired of seeing it and shoved in everything. The underrepresented minority has now become the overrepresented majority. So it's there's nothing left to do now, guys. You've won. You're overly represented now. Enjoy the victory. However, Ncuti Gatwa has been fairly quiet in recent days. It's probably looking like that in recent days. He was supposed to attend Eurovision, the singing competition, which Doctor Who attempted to play off as the show, off that show as a gimmick, and backed out just as news of his leaving the show was beginning to circulate in media. Rumor has it that behind the scenes, he was very upset with the controversy the show generated and felt like it was damaging his career. Well, you knew what you were signing up to, and you knew what you were doing when you told your fans to go outside and touch grass. And then you got even more upset when they went outside, touched grass, and then decided to take pictures and send them to you. You don't tell a bunch of fucking nerds who you rely on to get the ratings to go outside and touch grass. Are you fucking stupid? Because it's the nerds who are watching the show, sir. Okay, so telling a bunch of nerds to go touch grass, what did you expect was going to happen? I thought it was hilarious that people were sending him pictures on his Instagram and all that, or on Twitter and whatever else, of them going out and touching grass. Like, no, there's zero fucks to be given. Like, the fuck farm, completely out of fucks. People are just tired of it. People are tired of douchebags like him and Russell T Davies and just Hollywood in general trying to make the fucking the consumer, the fan, whatever, feel bad because they have a certain opinion about something. Oh my God, how dare they want quality writing? How dare they? The fucking gall of these people. They don't want the LGBTQ plus stuff constantly rammed down their throats. Well, they must be bigoted and homophobes. What? They don't want to constantly hear about racism? Well, they must be racist themselves. No, maybe people are tired of hearing of it in real life, and when they dive into something like Doctor Who, they don't want it shoved in their faces even more. I mean, is that possibly a thing? I know some of you fucking morons out there don't seem to understand that part. But guess what? Most people want to watch Doctor Who as an escape. They don't want to see the real world troubles and be called a racist in real fucking life, diving into a show like that, and then, oh, white people evil. In an interview with the BBC, Gatwa was asked, "Why did you walk away?" He didn't walk away. Jeez. He replied, "Because I'm getting old and my..." You're 32. I'm fucking older than he is. I'm older than him. Fucking old and tired. Bullshit, dude. I worked in a fucking factory for ages, and I'm still in... Come on. Shut the fuck up. My body, my knee, I'm not just starting doing some ballet. So I'm making really great decisions here. It's the most amazing job in the world. It's a job that any actor would dream of, and it's because it's so good and strenuous. It takes a lot out of you physically, emotionally, mentally. So it was my time. You're 32. Okay, Peter Capaldi had much more. I mean, he had probably a lot more action in his. I mean, he's fucking fighting Robin Hood with a goddamn spoon. I mean, come on. But apparently 57-year-old Peter Capaldi at the time was just better shape and mentally capable than this dude. Oh wait, did I just see Peter Capaldi? Yeah, I think I just saw. This appears to be a Gatwa's part, as he only had 8 episodes per season to film that were spread out over the course of multiple years, and the actor is only 32 years old, and he's hardly getting old, as we said. It's of note that a much older Peter Capaldi. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, as soon as I read this, I read the title, and I'm thinking Peter Capaldi, just a couple, 10 years ago now. I went back, I'm like, yeah, he's like 67 years old, so he's like 57 when he was doing Doctor Who. But again, he was a true fan of it. So even if it was painful or something, he endured it because that was his dream job. He's loved Doctor Who since he was a kid, and him having a chance to not only just appear in several episodes, which he did, one of the best being Fires of Pompeii, but he actually got to be the Doctor. For a kid who grew up watching Doctor Who in his 60s, that was like the biggest thing for him. So it's not like, oh, well, I'm getting old and tired. No, he's gonna deal with it because it's something he wants to do. I mean, if this was something this guy truly wanted to do, he would do what it takes to push through it. But clearly it wasn't what he wanted to do. Clearly it wasn't something he had passion for. But I just like the fact that they bring up Capaldi here, because that's the first thing I thought. I was like, Peter Capaldi was like 57 years old. And he did just fine. But handled the role for 3 seasons, which with nearly double the episode. Yeah, his seasons were pretty long. Double the season, nearly double the episodes per season in back-to-back years. Yeah. Now his last season got a little bad, but still there were still pretty good, some good episodes. But also I like how through each season, it's like when he first regenerates, his hair is super short, and then just throughout each season, his hair just gets, more out and just more wild. It's like, I wonder if they did that on purpose to show like a passing of time, but it's like it starts nice and short, buzzed almost, and then suddenly he just has this Mad Hatter kind of thing going on. But it gave him personality. And I think that Peter Capaldi kind of embodied all the doctors. Like, if you really watch him from start to finish, at some point he's portrayed one of the other doctors, whether it be old Who or new Who. And it just shows how much of a fan he truly was, because, you have like Jodie Whittaker, who kind of forced this whole, Peter, like David Tennant, Matt Smith kind of personality, because she had no personality of her own. With Peter Capaldi, because he's the doctor, naturally he's going to possibly act like other doctors at some point. With Jodie Whittaker, it was like a constant thing. She was either doing the Matt Smith waving her hands around, or with the what, like with David Tennant. But with Peter Capaldi, it was just so natural, because he'd seen all the doctors, he knew their personalities, so at some point each of them came out, but he did have his own personality. This dude was just but the interviewer then asked if he'd ever return to the role, to which Gatwa said, "Never say never." His body language indicated probably for like a special anniversary, like 20, 40 years from now or something. His body language indicated that it wouldn't be likely. However, fans also probably wouldn't be very receptive to him returning to the role either. It's clear that from the tone that Gatwa really doesn't want to talk about his time as a doctor, honestly knowing that the show was a complete failure because of his over-the-top, effeminate ways of portraying the character, combined with Russell T Davies' identity politics heavy scripts. Yeah, I mean, it could have been better. It could have been better. But nope. Nope. Screw them for ruining a franchise I used to really enjoy. Yeah, we're all here. But for him to say, because I'm tired, I'm old, shut up. Just shut up. Peter Capaldi was 57 years old when he was doing the Doctor Who thing, and he probably had just as much action in his episodes as you did. So shut up. Shut up. You didn't walk. You pretty much got fired. They saw the ratings. They saw that people were leaving in droves. They had to make a choice, and they decided to cut you. Simple as that. And then they tried to salvage, what they had at the last second. Like, hey guys, look, Billy Piper. You guys remember Billy Piper from the beginning of New Who with Christopher Eccleston? How much you loved Rose Tyler? Please watch our show. And people are catching on to it, like, yeah, we're not falling for that shit. We're not falling for that. Again, they like to treat you like you're fucking stupid. And because some of you are, then everyone gets treated like they're stupid. Because some people are like, oh my god, Billy Piper, I'm totally gonna watch the show now. And they're like twirling. They're like, "Meow, our plans worked." Meow. So congratulations. But he didn't walk away. He was forced out. He was forced. So again, I got a bridge I'd like to sell you. But anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.